Hey everybody, and good Tuesday evening to you. It is 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. It's the video we call Weather for Weather Geeks. The heat remains the big story, of course. We've got all sorts of statistics to throw at you before we get to rain chances over the next few days, along with a pattern change coming up as we head into next week. But all about the heat for now. And in fact, it was a record breaker today. Our forecast was 93. We hit 94 this afternoon, breaking the previous record of 93, set twice in 1934 and 1952. 94, not only the hottest temperature on record for today's date, it's our hottest temperature on any date since 2022. Our warmest temperature in 2024 was 92. 2 years ago, the hottest we got all year in 2023 was 90. We hit 94 in 2022 and also in 2020. We haven't been above 94 since it was in the upper 90s during a hot stretch in July of 2012. 98 was our high water mark that year. We haven't been to the century mark since 1988. So yeah, it's been a long time now since we've been in the upper 90s and lower 100s, but nonetheless, 94 is pretty impressive considering our recent climatology. One thing that you probably noticed, of course, over the last few days is just how fast it warms up in the morning. This morning, the heat index was already 92 at 10 in the morning, 93 at 11, and 94 degrees by noon. Heat index values that early in the day in June are especially rare. We haven't had heat index values before noon that high in over 30 years. It's been since the summer of 1994. So yeah, really fast starts as far as the heat is concerned. You know, I mowed this morning around 9. It was already sweltering during mid-morning. Usually when I get out to mow that early in the day, I kind of beat the heat, but not on a day like today. And you know, while the daytime temperatures are, of course, impressive, it's the overnight lows that are really impressive in a pattern like this one. The overnight temperature last night was a new record warmest minimum, in other words, warmest low temperature for today's date. We dropped to 72, I believe, at the airport this morning. And, you know, all throughout the region, the overnight lows are way, way above average. Now, the highs are way above average, but the lows are really more significantly above the average. And our friends at Climate Central put out this product called the Climate Shift Index, and it's basically how much of a certain outcome, weather-wise, can we attribute to a warmer climate. And, you know, basically the lows this morning, we can say that, 4 to 5, those lows are 4 to 5 times more likely because of climate change. Sometimes extreme weather events would happen anyway, but of course climate change increases the odds of climate extremes, if you will. So 4 to 5 times more likely to have a low temperature in the low 70s in today's climate than the climate of several decades or a century or more ago. So highs in the 90s, of course, that is not unusual at all for the summer season, particularly in July. But in June, we typically see 1 out of 5 90-degree temperatures occurring in the month of June. We've now had 3 in a row. Our forecast for tomorrow is 89. Of course, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we hit 90 tomorrow, making it our longest heat wave in about 5 years. But yeah, the warmth has been impressive. The humidity has been impressive. The dew points up in New England have been especially noteworthy. Now, they're not even nearly as high as they were last evening at this time. I didn't show you this last evening, but I should have. Across northern New England, parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, the dew points way up in the 70s, close to 80. That's almost unheard of for their part of the country. And, you know, folks that far to the north, a lot of people don't have air conditioning once you're near the U.S.-Canadian border. Because, of course, heat, while it occurs up there, it's usually not as long-lived or widespread, or you get more relief at night, at least. But when you have dew points this high, you just don't get much relief at night. So a place like Burlington, Vermont, Nashua, New Hampshire, Augusta, Maine, heading across the border to Quebec City and Montreal, places like that, it is heat that they're just not accustomed to at all that far to the north. Now, so far today, we've had one lone little cluster of showers and storms across our far northern viewing area that occurred mostly in the 3 and 4 o'clock hours in northern Trumbull. Northern Mercer got a little cluster of weak showers between I-77 and I-71 this evening. That's about it locally. The more numerous showers and storms are off to our north, closer to our cold front, and high-resolution futurecast will show just a renegade shower or storm will be a possibility for the next handful of hours. By about midnight or so, we're going to sound the all clear in terms of any rain chances tonight, and we'll get off to a dry start on our Wednesday. Now, this front, which is lurking off to our north, will continue to kind of wiggle and wobble for the next couple of days, providing perhaps a modest increase in the chances of a cooling shower or thunderstorm during the afternoon Wednesday, and we'll do that again on Thursday. Now, In places that do manage to get some rain tomorrow afternoon, with the sky clearing then tomorrow night, there could be some fog in parts of the area as we head into Thursday morning. By Thursday afternoon, scattering of showers and storms. And even though this front kind of washes out towards Friday, I left it on the map through Friday morning, but it's barely an entity at that point. A scattering of showers and storms in our Friday forecast as well. Upcoming weekend, don't forget you can check out the forecast details anytime on the Storm Tracker 21 app. Right now we're pinpointing Saturday as the wetter of the 2 weekend days. Talked about this some last evening on Weather for Weather Geeks, but just a reminder that I do think we'll have a pattern change, at least a temporary one, next week. Now, it's early July. It's not like it's going to feel like autumn or anything like that. But I think the elevated dew points and the temperatures in the upper 80s, lower 90s, we'll take a break from that, it looks like, next week. This is today's 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, showing basically a lot of neutral colors across the area, indicating the strongest odds are actually for temperatures to be near average. In early July, that's about 82, 83 degrees. I think there'll be some days next week in which it may be below average by a couple of degrees, not by a big margin, by a couple of degrees, and that represents a change, certainly compared to the consistently hotter than average temperatures and dew points that we are seeing right now. So the run up to the 4th of July, I think, will be more comfortable. Maybe our air conditioners will get a little bit of a break as we flip the calendar to July. Thanks for watching this Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you right back here on Wednesday.